Hey guys, welcome back. F1 2004, the Spanish Grand Prix, round number 5, starting P16, lights out and away we go. Once again, a bad start, but nonetheless, we're still ahead of Pristine and Clean, so you know, all good guys. Down to turn 1, got to get past Heidfeld and Sato and Baumgartner if possible on the brakes, and for some reason they slowed up way more than I was expecting. But saying that, they've done that in every race so far, so maybe, just maybe, I should have thought about that a bit more. Quite a robust one on Sato, but still, we're in 14th position, near enough where we started. I think Sato, yep, he's going to fly down my inside once again, so, you know, a bit of Japan rivalry going on here. Toyota versus Honda, obviously a Japanese driver with Sato. Cristiano Di Matta has nothing to do with it, he's Brazilian. So nonetheless, if we go on to lap number 3, as we go on to actually lap number 4 in a second here, we're in 15th position, setting a 1:17.4 there. I think that's faster than my qualifying time, to be fair. As we go down to the first corner, we can look for a move here on Bruni. Yes, we are. And I'm not sure there was contact as he sort of turned into the corner there, but we were actually way ahead of it at that point. So nice, up to P14, I'll definitely take that. Sato is the next person on our list. Obviously, a bit of a rivalry here. We're in the Toyota up against the Honda. Japanese rivalry between the two manufacturers, and of course, Takuma Sato, Japanese driver, in there as well. But he's not particularly had a great season in my little career / season thing here. He's, I don't think, scored a point, or he's definitely not scored that many. I mean, you look at Jenson Button winning the first race of the season, and I think he's doing quite well in this race as well. He's definitely well inside the points. We'll see later, I'm sure. But nonetheless, we're not really closing on Sato here. We're sort of keeping a gap around half a second. At least Massa isn't especially close, as we want to try and get past these guys ASAP. But Sato's trying to get past Portero, but he's not managed to do it. And we try and go around the outside. Ugh. Nearly going to be contact there between us, but thankfully there wasn't. Let's go down the main straight in this overpowered slipstream, and we're going to duck to the inside on the brakes. Sato, though, incredible late braking there. I mean, I don't think I would have ever been able to brake that late into that corner and still make it, so fair play. I know they're programmed to brake at a certain point and so on, but fair play, I just wouldn't have been able to do that. So there we go, he's got his 13th place back, and we're going to try our best to get it from him. But all of this battling has really got Felipe Massa involved with this once again. I mean, we're not really battling for anything. We're considerably outside the points at this point. 14th, I mean, I guess Portero's in 12th, so that's still, you know, I'll assume like about 10 seconds away from the points. So we're not looking in a particularly good position here in Spain. It's not known for its overtaking opportunities, but this is a game. It's slightly different, and you can force those opportunities, if you know what I mean, as we did on the first lap of the race. And yeah, still not proud of that one. But through the last couple of corners, Sato makes a mistake. Go around the outside. Don't think that was ever going to be within reason, but down the straight he puts on his afterburners until I get in a slipstream and get my afterburners on and get past him. So you just have to love it. You'd have to love how the slipstream / car performance things work. But quite a nice move into turn 1, a bit of a lock up, but still pretty happy with that. Now Portero, well, I thought I was going to get past him pretty simply, but it wasn't as easy as just going past it at the next corner. I definitely had to work my way past him, and then in front of him we got Fisichella as well. So some tough drivers to overtake here, because I mean, everyone's hard to overtake in this game, unless you use those forcing tactics which I mentioned earlier. I think you know what I mean if you played the old PS2 games, the old shunt and run. Yeah. Nonetheless, he makes a bit of a mistake there going onto the grass and slow through this corner here, and down the straight we should be able to get some slipstream, but it's not going to be quite enough. We don't quite get it in time to be close enough, but 0.3 of a second going to the final sector. This is probably the closest we've been to another car through this sequence, so hopefully we can get past him with relative ease. But saying that, not the greatest run through here, but once again we'd hope to be quick through these last couple of corners, but we're not close. But he's made a mistake, got a bit sideways, and I made this harder for myself here. I went to the outside because I thought he was going to defend the inside. I mean, they normally do just go on this sort of direct line they've been placed on, but sometimes they do defend. And yeah, that was one of those occasions where I thought he was going to defend. I saw his car twitch to the right, but yeah, we got the overtake done, but definitely made it a little bit harder for ourselves going round the outside down the straight, nearly on the grass as well, so it could have ended quite badly. But now we're getting fizzy, not sure what went on with him there, just quite slow really, and we got past him with relative ease on the brakes. He's only a tenth of a second behind me, but thankfully he didn't jump me and spin me out. Has happened in the past, I've just mentioned that with Racing F1 2004 AI. Definitely been punted off at the end of a straight by them. So definitely still not bitter by that, but thankfully it didn't happen that next time. So Webber's up next, then Alonso. Both of them being outside the points is kind of hilarious. Especially Webber, because he's actually had a really good season, I think, so far in my little 2004 season so far. And I'm a little bit surprised he's outside the points, and by the looks of it, nowhere near the points this one. So Spain obviously not looking particularly good for him, but more maybe embarrassingly not good for Fernando Alonso. His home race, and well, he's I think a couple of seconds behind 8th place here, so he's going to want a point, but let's be real, Alonso's doing pretty well in 2004, so the fact that he's outside the points at all, quite embarrassing for the Spaniard, especially on home turf. But now we're closing in on Mark Webber. I've got to say, we're definitely closer to him at this stage here. So through the fast right-hander in his Jaguar. I think maybe in the series before I've said that he drives for Williams, but of course that was in 2005. He went there for 2 years. But down the inside of him, pretty decent move. We are on side by side for a quick second there before we get back past him once again. Skipping nearly exactly 1 lap later, we pulled away from Mark Webber. Our lap times have also, started to come down a little bit here. 1:16.0. Maybe if I'd set that lap time in quali, I might have been able to have a chance, but I don't know, for some reason my lap times come alive in these races, and there's a 15.7, so another decent one. So it's just strange how it works here, just quicker in the race. I mean, it happens to me in iRacing as well. I mean, I struggle, I hit this lap time after lap, and then go into a race and suddenly hit half a second off of it. It's just one of those things. So trying to get around the outside of Alonso there was never going to work, especially on home turf. He was probably going to pump me off to another world if that was the case, but thankfully it didn't happen. So through the left-hander, not really an overtaking opportunity on this game, but the left-right, which turns into another right, is definitely one where we can overtake. So slight contact with him there, but this is the corner I think we can have a chance of overtaking him. He's slow through it, and on the exit we're going to go side by side, are we? No, we're going to get right in his slipstream though, and at the end of the braking zone we're going to go for this one. Of course we are, but still, fair play. I don't think there's any contact through there on this game. That's hard when you're getting that close to a car and there's no contact. It doesn't happen too often, I'll say that, but we had a good battle with Alonso earlier on in this season, so it's nice to see that friendly rivalry has continued. But of course I want to get past him as quickly as possible. So what's this lap time? Well, there's a bit of battling in that one, so still 1:16.2 isn't too bad, well for me at least. So into the turn 1 we get such a huge slipstream. Of course I'm going to go for it. As we go into turn 1, I think there's a tiny bit of contact, as of course they're on that sort of train line. They've sort of got a very direct route where they're going through the corner. He was already sticking to that. I was going for a move down the inside. He turned in, bit of contact. We live and we learn, but still, I think that was a fair enough move down the inside. Of course, it was a bit of a dive bomb, but you've got to go for these sort of things in F1 2004. So, last lap of this race. Can we get a point? It's been a relatively entertaining comeback through the field here. Some nice battles. I'd like to highlight the one with Alonso once again. Of course, there was a bit of contact, but still, a nice wheel-to-wheel battle with him from multiple corners. Always good fun, especially, as I said, in this game where it's very tough for that to be the case. So now we're fighting with Ralf Schumacher and Panis. So my teammate, who has, I don't know, how does he do it? He's always there. He's always there or thereabouts. He's scoring points. It's embarrassing, but nonetheless, we want to get past him as quickly as possible, but we want to get past Ralf obviously first. But it's the last lap of this race, so whether that's possible or not, we'll see in the next couple of corners, I guess. I go for this lunge down the inside of Ralf. Once again, like the Fernando Alonso situation, we don't quite have enough. It was a good move down the inside, but we just didn't have the speed. And I was a bit over-optimistic there, turning into the corner a bit early, grabbing a bit of grass, and then last corner, not really going to be close enough to get the position done. So it was an entertaining race, not quite good enough for points or a point, but I can't be too disappointed with myself there. We fought back through the field quite well there, considering we started last, didn't we? I think in terms of time away from the leader as well, not too bad. And Jenson Button scores another win. He's been very hit or miss this season. It's either victory or nothing for the British driver this season in my season 2004. Panis obviously scoring again, Schumacher scoring again, so he's very close at the top. In fact, it is Panis and Trulli are leading the championship together with Michael Schumacher in third. This could only be a game, right? Amazing.